Yeah, things start.
That seems correct, but do we maybe want to open the board and see if we
Yeah, I
forgot
think,
something smaller?
yeah, I think.
Okay, I stopped sharing. I've put some agenda points, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Please go ahead and share, Rada. Why don't you go ahead and share, and I'll send you the board in the meanwhile. Please go ahead and share. Yeah.
Where was it?
I'll put the link for the board here. But essentially, Tal, I'm thinking probably we need to have a stand up this week. I think it's maybe a better idea to have a daily meeting, maybe for 30 minutes. Anyway, we have a couple of, today is there, Wednesday we are set. If we have a couple of that kind of sessions on 2-3 days, that would be good. Because this is the week we need to be completely release ready. Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, everybody seems to be working. I guess we could.
Yeah. I just want to. I think we're making progress, but probably we need to just tick things off. That's where I'm thinking. Yeah.
Sure. So I could do. I could create a stand up, same as we did. Last week. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me do that now.
Yeah. Tuesday. I think Wednesday we don't need because we have the big meeting anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Thursday that eliminates Friday. Yeah, that would be. It just kind of brings a sense of urgency to us. That's the only thing I'm thinking. So from the free 5GC testing perspective, Radu, were you able to do any progress on that one, or you're still waiting for something?
Yeah, we're waiting for some PRs to be merged. I've checked today.
Okay.
Seems like it's good to go. I'll try to work on it today.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Ella. Then I put the release notes. I requested almost everyone in this call to take a look at the review. This thing we need to on the known issues, the troubleshooting we need to update. It's kind of, I took it from R1. Some of them may be still applicable, but we need to make sure the known issues or troubleshooting steps. If something needs to be removed or something needs to be added, there's a PR for release notes. I requested.
So Bala,
I think, yeah.
Regarding the Free 5G, we have like at least 3 PRs. We are waiting for approvers in the catalog repository. So I just tried to put in the notes, but if someone can take a look.
Can you again please put those in the Slack? Then we can ask everybody to take a look at again.
Yeah, well,
I will put the links in the SIG automation Slack, please. Sure. Because that's the
way. So question, Victor, or they are okay, right? So we can just, because I mean, for the people, is it okay to approve? Because I don't think I want to wait. I mean,
Francesco, Lagar and I having checked it, and I think that they're ready to.
That's approved. I'll approve them right away.
Yeah, because I have 126, pull request number 26. Yeah, there was a problem with the MF and SMF pods were not coming up because of the dependency, so it was a matter of adding a little line there, and it was missing that. So,
which one is it? 27?
Mine is 26, and then there is in catalog there is 27 as well from Victor. Yeah.
Okay, I'll approve.
Thanks.
Well, thanks. So with that would that, just to understand, Victor and Francisco, would that enable testing, or would that make Free 5GC work end to end? Just wanted to.
Yeah, well, with those changes, when they are merged, like I think this particular change that you're showing is going to pass. So I'm still seeing issues with the when the FIFA tunnel is trying to bring it up. So, but it's something that we have it carrying for R1. So, yeah, it's still that sometimes it's working, sometimes not. Like that depends on the OS, but it is the same well-known issue that we have in R1.
Okay, is there any potential fix for that, Victor, or do you think it is generally a stability issue or a race condition, or is it?
I'm not sure. Like I'm still investigating, but yeah, given that we still have it in R1 using the latest and greatest, I mean it's going to be probably. But I still don't know what would be the root cause of that problem. We have seen in the past, but I don't think that we are going to solve it. But the other thing, like regarding the controllers, like consuming the API, all the benefits are passing.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Victor. Francisco.
Just one thing to add to what Victor said is that something that I noticed, but also everybody knows already, that the auto approval feature is sometimes it works so and sometimes it doesn't. So whenever I test manually, then I go there to approve the revision, and then propose. The proposal I always have this issue, and then it will auto approve. But yeah, it's not like always like this. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. Yeah, but yeah, sorry.
No, that's a good point to mention. What we have seen in the test is like we need to increase the time up. Most of the tests somehow it seems like the latest changes are increasing the provisioning time, even when the previous one was not the best one. Now we are reaching the 90 minutes of threshold that we had before. So I don't think that is something good to be proud, but yeah, at least for now, what we want to do it is just make sure that we have an end-to-end. Eventually, we can maybe improve times, and as Francesco said, like that also is affecting the auto-proof process in some occasions.
Okay, so can one of you, Victor or Francisco, can you please review? I mean, obviously that's lower priority on your side. Whenever you get a chance, when you review the release notes, can you please add that note to as a comment to the release notes for what is it, known issues or something? Or do we need to even talk about that? The auto approval stuff.
Yeah, I think that we can include some documentation or start and also eventually start investigating why is the reasons behind that. Is that it's caused by port or just conflicting, or for now it's just a result of those changes. It's not, we don't know exactly what is happening behind scenes.
Yeah.
Is there already an issue in GitHub for that? Is the reason we probably should put something in, say that at least there's an issue there. Maybe it's not a bug, but maybe after hour or two we need to go and dig the streets to try and find out what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. I think let's put that in as the one of the known issues, like the auto approval.
All right. So one thing though, while we on the subject of timeouts, I guess this one's also good to go. From what I've checked, that's also like a timing issue. There was a recently merged another Victor submission to increase the timeouts. So I guess this one's also good to go. I'd say, well, I don't know, what do you think, Victor? I guess it's good.
Well, we have like a multiple timeouts. One is for the and for every single test, we have like a timeouts for the waiting process, like waiting for expected results or waiting for certain event. That is usually a way to catch failures. But also, like, we have like a full end-to-end timeout, which is right now 75 minutes. So, and that's the other thing, that in this particular PR, I am trying to increase it because we have reached like, even, I mean, that means that the end-to-end is not finishing at 75 minutes. Now it's taking like,
yeah, that's the change for 90. Yeah, I'd say that's good. That's good to go.
So if that's the case, can you please, it's in the test infra, can you merge it or approve it? Right? Yeah. Cool. Thanks. So while you are at it, if you, is there any way to see all the PRs that are pending? Or do we have to go per repo?
Yeah, probably per repo.
Okay.
and also John set up like a GitHub Firehose channel where like most of the projects are subscribed. So if you are in that channel, you can see notifications about the changes that the people are doing.
Okay. Yeah. So your docs. So if you see, I mean, there are a few PRs should be open, I think. Yeah, I think there are quite a few PR open in the docs. If you
Sorry, I'm kind of lagging a bit. My internet here is it's trying to get on my nerves today. All right, so
nephew. So, okay, yeah, this is.
That's for those are polls for nephew.
So these are any important PRs that we
I mean, I cannot speak to that. What's important
so
here?
If you scroll down a little bit, I did not see anything critical. I mean, obviously we need to look and merge everything, but so Tal and Wim also, please, Stephen, will take you scroll. I didn't see anything that critical for the release. Adding pre-submit images to the build. Is that critical? Rado?
Yeah, for end-to-end testing PRs. Yeah, those are actually, I have this on the agenda, which I've lost here somewhere. So they're still they are still free, sticking out.
Okay.
That needs the approval.
Can you please put that in our channel, the SIG automation?
Yeah, sure.
So probably we need to merge those things. I'm just trying to get to a place where all the critical PRs are merged, and then so this is in addition to what we did last week, right, Adam? We merged a few PRs last week. I think that's the one less than the last 3 ones.
Yeah. There was some additional fixes needed for the KPT backstage plugins.
Okay.
Got it. So there
were some linter issues, right? So.
The test will pass. That one was merged, and so those are next in line.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. So I think
cool. So for PRs hanging here, I'm not really sure about the importance of any of them.
Docs, if you go to the docs, almost everything is important actually. So there is a broken link that needs to be fixed. There's R2, there is initial draft release notes. I think even the footer and code that is needed, because that's needed for the Netlify. If we have to publish our docs using that tool, that's needed. So I think from the docs repository, I think almost all the PRs are needs to be reviewed. And
Okay.
almost all the PRs are needed from the docs repository perspective. But from the Nephew, yeah.
I will try to go.
Yeah, I think I'll also request, I think docs, I
through
think we need to request Wim, Stephen, Liam, Tal, Victor,
Yeah,
please, yeah, take a look at it. And because I think some of them requires some of them are it's actually even semantic, because for example, what in the release notes, like I said, I'm not sure what other known issues that we need to populate in the release notes, things like that.
maybe on the chat we can just make sure we're not tripping over each other and take a certain section each. That'd be
Yes.
okay?
Yes, that will be fine. Yeah, thanks, Liam.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think docs is good now. Can you go back to Nephew if you don't mind? Nephew and FreeFi-GC, I think those two are the two things we need to see. Pretty sure API and all that will be taken care of.
So API is the docs we got. All right.
That's a Nephew, yeah. It's a folks, any critical thing here? One we identified from Rado, any very critical PRs that's for the release? Can scroll down a bit, Rado, if you don't mind. Yeah, I did not see, but I would talk, let the experts make a call on this. Any particular PR that's requires urgent look?
I don't think so. Most of them seems to be non-critical.
Non-critical, okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So can we go to we did docs, Nephew. Can we go back to the catalog? If you don't mind. We do not have anything there at this point of time. Can we go back to FreeFi-GC?
Seems like catalogs all been merged.
Yes, that's good. So if you can go back to the FreeFi-GC one. Five PRs. One is from you.
Yeah, the first one here, yeah.
Okay, and then okay, upgrade to that looks like a biggie. So what do you guys think about 43? The second one.
Maybe I will wait for next release.
From July 16, so that's pretty old, right? So
that's right.
I would wait after the release as well.
Okay, and then I think it looks like all the set controller reference are both. I think all looks like a old.
Yes.
Old one. I think we can wait. Okay,
well,
except for the very first one. Yeah.
At one point, we'll have to also have a discussion about closing stale PRs and establish
Absolutely.
some kind of like a time frame.
Yeah.
Where if there are no comments and so on. So this can be done automatically by Prow.
Okay.
that's configurable, and bot will just put the information that something in a sense of like because of lack of activity, blah blah blah, I'm closing the PR and so on. So yeah, but that's just, I guess, one more like a procedural things that we need. That we need to address. All right. I also got some points in.
Yeah, go ahead, Tyler.
Also had some points in.
Did you say go ahead, Rado, or Tal? Sorry.
So I said Rado was finishing his thoughts. That I thought he'll let him finish and then you go.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying I have a few points in agenda. If that's all that you had.
Okay. I just wanted to, if you ask me, probably a couple of more repos if you can finish it off, and then if you can hear from Tal, then you can go with the agenda. Probably just five more minutes. Rado.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
Tal, go ahead.
Before that, yeah, let's hear from Tal. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it became a big deal. I just wanted to say that I think automatically closing PRs, maybe for now we can just do it manually for a while. I don't feel like we have like such a huge backlog of PRs that we can't manage it manually. If a PR is hanging, there's probably a reason for it. So probably, I'm just saying it's probably better for humans to discuss it before closing a PR rather than having it timed, at least for now. But it's kind of up to you. It doesn't matter. You can reopen a PR as well.
Yeah, it can be reopened. On the other hand, last week I got one of my PRs from July merged. So probably
Congratulations on your persistence.
Whatever time frame would be chosen, I guess this one would be killed by a bot at this point. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Thanks, Tal. That's a good point. Probably, yeah, we can do what Tal suggested for now, and then.
Maybe just like going to the test infra project, which is like few PRs are open, and I agree with you. Like let's not spend too much time here.
Yeah.
Maybe we can eventually implement the stale thing feature where like automatically closes the PRs without any change. Well, for this particular the 230, I have to test it. I think is ready to go. I guess I received like your GTM from Rado.
Yeah, 230 is good to go. What I've seen in the first runs of it was a timeout. It was then increased in a different PR. I guess it's good to go. Yeah.
And also, I was also waiting for the catalog changes. So I think once that someone approve it, maybe you can see benefits on this. 227 Joseph is adding more tests in OAI. So I don't know if you have seen, but the only portion of the test that we have merged is things that are in OAI core. We haven't completed a portion of OAI run, and that's 227. Basically, is adding like 2 or 3 scripts, which is like covering that portion. So that's also a good one to keep an eye, because we need also for R2 we need that one to be merged. We cannot say like we're doing end-to-end call if we don't merge this one in particular.
Yeah, I'll take a look at this one.
And I guess that's the only 2 important ones. Probably will submit another ones which could be improve the timeouts in the test, not in the overall end-to-end. But yeah, as long as we merge these 2, I think that we're in good shape.
So what are I think I think first 2 leaves seems to be definitely important. And what about 3 and 4, Rado? I think we also need to merge those, right? I think probably the
222 or
yeah, 220, yes, 222 and 215.
No, yeah, I've put this one on hold.
Okay.
There were some problems with the tests, and I definitely don't want to upgrade Prow before the release.
No.
So,
Okay, got it. Okay, I
so
thought
that's-
it's a process. You
that's-
still did manual thing. That's okay if it is a pure
No,
automatic.
that's on a hold. I'm just waiting for this to be fixed upstream.
And what about 215?
215, yeah, that was good to go. Somebody just have to do like approve on it.
Okay,
I don't want to approve my own.
Yeah, can 215? Okay, one of us can do it. Okay, let me do it. While we are at it, can we just make a note? I will approve it later. Or anybody on the call, if they are handy, they can approve it. So can we go to the other repos? Just want to make sure we did everything, I think. Just for the sake of it, let's go to API and
Right.
it's right there. Okay. So so here, anything, the first one?
Oh, that one's still hanging here from June. Okay. Yeah, but it's nothing. We can live without it. It's nothing,
Okay.
no biggie.
I think there's a first PR. Stephen, do you think that's?
Yeah, I'm moving everything to experimental anyway, so I'll probably just abandon it or close it.
Okay. Then revert optional tags. The second one, I think looks like that's old PR, but is it needed? Web?
Yeah, October. It's not that at all.
Yeah.
We can remove that one. Yes.
Okay.
I'll close it.
Okay, cool. That's okay. I think rest everything looks to be pretty. I think we are covered there. I can go back to. So we looked at go back to the repos if you don't mind. Yeah, I think we did looked at 3.5GC porch. Is anything in the porch? And porch and OAI is the only two things. We can go to the OAI one and see if there's anything.
I think there's two of the porch are.
Okay. Oh, it's
Yeah,
sorry, there was a lag. Yeah.
Yeah, the porch tutorial, it's fine yet. I'm still adding a little bit to that, but when I have it finished, I should actually say I'll put a do not merge on it for the moment.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I'm nearly finished that. Yeah.
Okay.
And this one is on hold as well. So
yeah,
porch clean. OAI, only one thing hanging. So the readme.
Okay, I think that's I think it's a.
Okay, I'll take a look at this one as well.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess we went through
Okay.
everything, right?
I think so. I think, yeah. Do we? Okay, I think that's it, right? Any other reports that we need to look? Tal, Wim, Stephen, Tim?
No, I think you finished them all, right?
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a
So
good. Done.
cool. Thank you. So I think we know obviously the docs is the one with the most PRs open, which is understandable at this point of time. Probably that's where probably we'll focus on our stand-ups and stuff along with free-for-GC testing. I think we just solidified all our understanding where we were. Yeah, Rada, please go ahead with your other agenda items.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so the PRs already mentioned for security scans, KPT backstage plugins have some nastiness there. Nothing really major, but this will probably have to be looked on. I will after the call. I guess I will put the scan report on. It's mostly like dependencies stuff, but like manually updating them, Node.js is not really my thing. So I've just somebody has to have a look at those before we publish the image. So that's basically one like major thing that's sticking out. For miscellaneous stuff, the security scorecard has the one point that we have to have like dependency update tool in place. Though I'm talking about this LFX.
OSSF?
Where was it? Yeah, those insights stuff, and then also the security scorecard. So I'm gonna be looking at this. This is something like post R2 activity, but I'm just on a cloud repos. I'm just looking into what's available. There's also something from the last meeting that we have. So the contributing. That's also one of things that's in the best practices scan here for this LFX scorecard. If we have the contributing document, and I was just wondering like what's the procedure of making one. I guess that's something that should go from TSC, right? And they can, I guess, like point somebody to create stuff like this. And also I guess we need some clarification in naming convention, like who's contributor, who's committer, who's to have like clearly said like what groups of access privileges we have, and then we also have to have procedures for becoming one. So it's clear when people want to contribute to the project. It's they have a place to refer to. So it's maybe not something that's critical for R2, but definitely it can add to frustration for new people coming. And yeah, we don't want that. And that's not really like, I feel it's not really a thing for SIG release. Like we're more implementing these policies in whatever tooling we've got than just coming up with solution and all the wording in those. So for now we're kind of using what's basically in PRAO and in GitHub without any altering of it. But this for some parts this can be changed. But yeah, I guess we need some guidance on this, at least those points. So like the contributing document and kind of like a procedure, like what do you have to do to become, let's say, like a reviewer or whatever. So yeah, that's all I've got.
So yeah, I'll take. I think probably we can come up with a formal documentation in a governance section. I think we had some Word doc created, to be honest with you, before for the R1 timeframe. I think it's somewhere there in a Word doc, probably making some of this, not everything, but some of this is defined. I remember writing some of that. Probably we need to figure it out where it is, and then probably putting that in a GitHub, maybe in a governance or contribution repo, just like what Kubernetes does. Probably we could do that. That's a great point, Rado. I think probably we can take a stab at it, and then we can take inputs from SIG2 and then TSC. to come up with something to start with, at least the contributing naming convention, etc. And then the procedures for becoming committer, probably I'm not. Yeah, I that one we need to have a discussion, but at least the contributing we have written down somewhere, like where to go, what to do, things like that. Probably we just need to take a look, take that, and then put that in a GitHub repo. I think we could do that once the release is done. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah. Just I just wanted to have it noted somewhere that so it
absolutely, and
skip.
then yeah, and then the third point that you mentioned, yeah, obviously we need to have a little bit of a discussion, and then we definitely, if we can write it down, then that would be better, because as the community is growing, whether we need to have those kind of demarcations, distinctions. I know Tal had a different idea as well. I think we just need to discuss that and then come up with some things and then write it down. So that at least when a newcomer comes or whatever, we can point it to our governance structure.
So for contributing Matter project or like connected home IP, they have a pretty reasonable contributing guide here, concise and pretty, I guess, well thought out. So I guess we can borrow a parts of it. Okay. But that's up for discussion. And also there's one more thing for this best practices scorecard. We also have to have code of conduct put, I guess, per repo, because that's what scanners are expecting. So I guess also the content of code of conduct is something that TSC, if it's not coming up with it, at least approves. But I'm really like not familiar with all the ins and outs of this. So that's also one thing we have to add to the list.
I tried to look into it. So I think the code of conduct would actually come from the Linux Foundation or LFN specifically, but I could not find anything, surprisingly. We do have codes of conduct for events, but not for communities.
Yeah. So there is a code of conduct for the Linux Foundation projects. It is in the lfprojects.org.
Could you get us a link to that?
It's very very well hidden. I've been discussing with Kenny to pull it up on both on LFN pages and on on individual project pages, so that we don't have to find it hard.
Well, so it's surprising we don't know it, because apparently we already have to abide by it. Just being members of the community.
When we were inducted, we did implicitly, but nobody knows about it.
So I didn't sign it, so I don't have to conduct myself in any way.
Yeah.
I reserve the right. But yeah, seriously, we should, Timo, if there's any way you can get us, get that for us, would appreciate.
I'm verifying that I do remember it right and put it into the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Radu, the one thing, thanks for the miscellaneous one, but the one thing that is the KPT backstage plugins, when you say there is an issue, I think, so I don't think we modified anything in R2 for any of those plugins.
That's something that's been sitting there from R1.
Yeah.
And
so how, I guess, when you say nasty, how nasty it is? Is it, are you talking about the security, or are you talking about, it's not the, just wanted a distinction, it is not a copyright or license issue, right?
No, absolutely no. I'm saying security. So here you have visible. It's a lot of text, but there are some CVEs against what we got there, and most of them are like negligible. but there are few with high. It's not something that you know it's really critical, but it's just a bad look, in my opinion, to have.
Okay, got it.
To have high. So there was in Gripe and in Trivi as well. Where is it? So that's for V1. So yeah, so there's one. That's basically like a base image. So that's I guess fixed. But there was also something coming up there from like the Node.js dependencies themselves.
So probably for the R3 timeframe, you should look at upgrading this plugin.
Yep.
Hoping that some of this will have been fixed.
Yeah, so I will sit on it a little bit more. Ask for help if I'm stuck on it. But yeah, that was also something that I thought it's worth looking into.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's all from my side for today.
Yeah, I think that's good. Let's go review the PRs, merge them, and let's do that end-to-end testing. I think that's all we can say at this point of time. So anything else, anyone?
The one question I have, but I mean, we didn't discuss it, but is the run of the end-to-end test will only happen when we have the check-ins now in place, I guess, right? So from the moment we have all the check-ins, we can basically start doing these tests, I guess, right? So it's fair to say that today they don't run yet.
For the automated one, you mean?
Yes, the automated one, yes.
Okay, Rado,
Yes.
can you please take the question?
There are still like 3 PRs for waiting for them to be merged.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that from the moment we have it, it will run, is basically my question.
Yeah. What we have now is this periodic ones.
But the periodic one doesn't do the full end-to-end yet, right? Because is that correct, or is that right? Understand what is the periodic ones is what I'm trying to ask.
So you're asking about the periodic jobs who are executed by test infra?
Yep.
Yeah, those are running pretty much exactly the same as the on demand. So, but yeah, it's covering like OI. Well, actually, no, just FreeYGC in both flavors with Fedora and Ubuntu.
With what? Say again.
Well, with FreeYGC, so basically is running exactly the same thing, but just in periodic basis. I mean, instead of, for example, in test infra, so the only way to know that if anything is covered end-to-end is submitting just a small patch, and that triggers the execution. So with the periodic, it doesn't have to, you don't have to submit something to see results. By the way, something that I was talking with, and Fishora suggested was maybe we can connect the results of the periodic task with the Slack, and
yes.
And I guess that's something that Pro supported. So maybe we can submit a change and include it. In that way, we can just monitor. I be aware of what is happening if the periodic tasks are still passing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, when there's an error, this can be sent from Proud to Slack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think I was going to ask something similar. Is how do we know that they failed? Is what my question.
Okay. Yeah, that's I guess like do you have the URL, Prado?
So if you go to the Pro interface and go to the job type and go filter by periodic, so you have this daily running on Fedora and Ubuntu. So on this spyglass here, you'll have the execution log. Sometimes it says it fails, but it fails, like, for example, because of the timeout that was actually fixed in the PR. I've just LGTM'd, right? So you can just see here what's failing in those.
But this is still 1.0, I guess, right?
I don't think so, because we dropped that particular change. I mean, from the moment that we switch from Nephew example packages and to catalog, yeah, we're just using the latest and greatest.
But today they must fail, unless those 3 PRs are in not.
Yeah, they're still failing. That's because, as Rado mentioned, what we have before, we have like a timeout for 75 minutes. So I'm assuming that if Rado goes to the end of the logs, so he will see like that this particular end-to-end test is exceeding that portion of time, like maybe taking more than 75 minutes. So what we have done is increasing like to 90 minutes. Maybe that way we can, yeah, I think that somewhere there, if the provision, well, the provisioning or the installing a Nephew and all the components is taking like 11 minutes. I mean, preparation of the sandbox is just 10 or 11 minutes. But just running the end-to-end, that means like bringing up the workload clusters, like putting the P5GC workloads, waiting for all this. It's taking.
It was killed. It was killed. The last one, for example, was killed because of the timeout received. So it just went over the 75 minutes.
But at some point we were discussing to run these on every commit.
Yeah, we have that one. I mean, we have for every single commit in test infra, what we have to do, we have to wait to send those or to catch those commits in other projects. I'm not sure how that could be possible. Like, for example, if you submit something in the API project, it should be nice to create like a temporal image and use that image in the end-to-end. But we haven't done that yet, and it's something that I'm not sure.
Yeah, those are those 3 PRs sticking out. So I was testing different approaches to this, because as you say, it actually would be pretty nice to have these jobs kind of connected with other repos. But ultimately, what I've done, I just pulling the latest stuff. So every time you're creating the PR, it builds the temporary, let's say, images for a Docker, right? And the job is being run on them, also pulling the latest temporary images from other repos, because there's no really a good way to establish the dependencies between them, unless you wanna, in a PR, you wanna let's say update the JSON file with all the image versions that you want to test against. Then I was also testing scenario like this, but I don't think many people would do it. So for now, what we have, it will just pull the latest images created in all the previous jobs. So basically, what's the latest, the newest image in every repo to build the end-to-end environment. So for a catalog, it will just, as Victor was saying, pull the latest thing that's in catalog. So that's already in place.
Okay, because the point is the following, is that yeah, how do we, let's say if there is a breaking change or something was committed somewhere and break stuff, right? The question is, how do we find that as quickly as possible and know the relation to the thing that got checked in? Basically, that's my main question.
No, yeah, I understand your concern. Like, definitely, it's a very valid point. But probably the short answer is, like, for now, the only thing that we have is just the parade task. Obviously, I would like to see something more proactive, as you said, like if you submit a patch, I would like to know that my patch is affecting the end-to-end as soon as possible. But for now, I mean, with the current implementation that we have, it's not possible. And there are some ideas that Radu mentioned. I don't know if Pro is capable to have that particular scenarios, or maybe we can explore another configuration or tools. But yeah, because especially we have like at least three things. Like one is like the code that you are doing. Let's take, for example, the Nephew source code. That's one thing, which is like triggering like the creation of a Docker image. The other thing is like the KPT definition, things that we have in catalog. So we need to adjust that definition to consume the recent image that we're using. And the third thing is like running the whole test, like the test suite with the rest of the components. So maybe we can, given that we are using kind clusters, maybe we can take advantage of those clusters and loading the draft images and maybe do something or use some of that ecosystem. But yeah, it's not my main problem. My main point is that this is not a trivial thing. I mean, maybe we should spend some resources and that thing, and also maybe redesign. Like we need to redesign this and explore something more robust.
Maybe we should put this on the agenda item for next week, for next time, or something like that, to see how we can improve. I'll think about it as well to see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
that's for everybody.
Yeah, this is like a nightmare, especially in the release process, because we have like multiple things.
Yes. And the sooner, the thing is, the sooner we catch this, the better for everybody, right? Because that's at the time when people have it fresh in their minds. If you catch it like 5 months later, then people will say, okay, why? What did I do? I'm talking about myself.
Exactly.
And I'm thinking of myself as well. Sorry, guys, but I nearly time up. I just wanted to thanks for bringing it up, Victor. I was going to mention actually if we could have some Slack reporting from the job itself. But just an idea, possibly. But say for the Nephew code base itself, would it make more sense to have a smaller subset of integration tests for the Nephew controllers alone, rather than having to run, a 90-minute end-to-end test just to verify? Because, the vast majority of that, if I'm understanding correctly, comes from the Free5GC and the other OAI stuff. So if you had a very small set of, integration tests that, deployed the Nephew controllers, did what you needed to do, and tore it down, I don't think, just to purely test the Nephew controllers, and then possibly, down the line, same for ports or same for, so you have smaller subsets rather than a full big bang end to end.
Which is a good point, Fiacra, because if you look, I mean, part of our tests, the main part in the controllers, right? It's both, but there is a piece that only is bringing up clusters, right? And so we have done some changes for like the secrets and the bootstrapping and blah, blah, blah. So there is a phase that is only relevant for the cluster creation part at the moment. And that is taking probably less time than the full-blown Free5GC. So I think it's a good idea to split it into phases or to have two kinds.
I mean,
it's just an idea. It's extra work.
Modular,
it's extra work. Yeah, it's extra work. But yeah, I just, if you as you said, Radu or Victor, like that could be triggered from a commit to the Nephew repo.
Yeah.
So if somebody pushed a PR up to the Nephew code base, that would trigger this, subset end to end. That would build master, or no, build your PR images and test against them. But yeah, it's work. I know it's work. So yeah, just an idea.
That's good point. That's good point. And also, we can absolutely push everything that's going on in Pro to Slack. I just need the token. I don't know who's a Slack admin for our. That would be Kenny, right?
More likely, or maybe John has some point.
I might be able to help, but we're at time. The SIG 1 meeting has started. I think some of us would need to drop. Could we table this for next meeting?
Yeah.
Or next meeting early in maybe tomorrow stand up if it is critical for the release.
Oh, this is not critical. This is a generic issue,
Okay.
Bala. So this can wait till next week, I think.
Okay,
But
cool.
I think we need to put this in place. I think is what we are trying to get to, and we will have to have all the brains needed to see how to make it happen. So that's why I think. But it's not critical. But it's critical, but super critical.
Okay, got it. Cool. Thanks. Yeah. All right then. So probably we are over time, like Tal said.
Yep.
We will jump to the other meeting and then. Thank you everyone.
Thanks everyone.
Bye bye.
Okay,
Have a good
bye.
night. Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.